is 827 Data Computation Lessons on Learning. I'm learning. I hope this will support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today, I want to speak about conversations and different levels of conversations. We need to learn how to communicate effectively, because I think that's when we speak about conversation levels. Today, we'll share more of a 4 levels of conversations. Of course, there is more, but I want to focus on 4 specifically. Now, when I think about those 4, majority, probably 90% of people stay at the first level, and you don't know how to move between the levels. So first I will share exactly what are those levels. So the first most common level is surface level communication. Surface level conversations. So that means that we share one thing about ourselves, and it's just very surface level. You don't understand each other, you're not able to hear each other. So that means like, okay, how is the day going? Oh, I'm fine. And like, you can say, okay, what's fine about it? Oh, I just doing my job, living my life, and that's it. This is just a surface level conversation. There's not much depth into that. So now when I think about the second level is a person level. Majority of people, including myself, for majority of life, I never went to person level, because I didn't understand that there's a huge difference between surface level and person level. So I mean, as the person level goes a little bit deeper. So now, like, of course, when you're like, I just do my job, and of course, the next question, do you like what you're doing for a living? And it's like, yes, so I like it or I don't like it. So for some person, it's like, I don't like it. Okay, so what you don't like it? Oh, I'm working crazy hours. I work 10, 12 hours a day. And then, of course, you're able to ask, okay, and how long have you been working like this 10, 12 hours? Oh, like for the last 2, 3 years. Wow. And that's quite a lot for 2 years working that much. And has that had an impact on you? Of course, I after working that many hours, I'm not able to focus on my health. I feel stressed. And you ask, like, stressed? And at that moment, your person's like, oh yeah, like I come back from work, I always feel stressed and I feel frustrated, and I need to distress myself, and I eat even more because of that. So that means that you able to get into the depth of understanding about person. And the surface level will never get information. I think that if you don't want to build relationships, you need to understand how to go into the personal level. And the next one, number 3 level, is the relations. Relations are being able to really hear and be able to understand and discuss boundaries in relationships. Because relationship building is different than personal, because you're able to have the transaction between each other. It's even important to understand the deep level of the person, to understand and hear. But when you go to a relationship, that means that you really need to understand and see if how we able to grow each other. Because friendship and relationships, I always see that it's supposed to be beneficial for each other to grow towards something, to really enjoy life together and grow in life together. So relationship level is really understanding each other and how we can potentially work together. And the last one level that I really want to mention is intimate level. So that means that you share private and very sensitive information. Now it's very interesting. Some people never understand what is intimate level. They always communicate in surface level. And that's why so many people are never able to really keep secrets. Because they don't understand that now we are speaking at an intimate level. We're speaking in a private and sensitive information. And that's why so many people are sharing all the secrets to everybody like I just know tomorrow. So we need to understand that we need to be aware. Okay, what kind of level of communication do we have now? What kind of conversation do we have now? Is it just surface level? Do we have like personal and in-depth conversation? Do we have like relationship building conversation, or really intimate, like private and sensitive information? And private and sensitive information could be a lot of different reasons. Business could be like some kind of romantic relationship, and that means that, or some secrets, and we need to understand and be aware of that. So when you think about conversation, we need to understand that when you think about, okay, what kind of level we need to choose to talk to. So there are some things that we need to assess to make sure that we're able to choose properly which level, because even though that person level is in more strong and much more important, and it's much better, we don't need to use person level all the time. We don't need to go to depth all the time. We don't need to build relations all the time, and we're supposed to spend a lot of time in surface level. Now, of course, surface level doesn't add as much value. It's just to build very small rapport, just to go by. So we need to spend as much as we can in relationship building and personal level. But sometimes when you communicate with people that you need to communicate, rather than like you want to communicate, of course, at that moment you're able to use service level. So when we think about which conversation level we want to choose, we need to assess first relation. So it means, do you really want to have that communication with that person, or is this just the circumstance you put in that communication? Because I truly believe that when we focus on life and adding value and really connect, we need to understand that some people deserve our time and everything, and some people do not deserve our time. So that means if they do not deserve your time because they take the energy out of you, so that means of course we want to focus on surface level conversations. And that's it, because we want to respect other people. But even though that you respect and love them from the distance, love and respect from the distance, you do not need to really go into depth in the conversation. Now, number two is a real situation. So that means when you have a understanding of what kind of conversation, so how much deep the questions are supposed to ask. Understanding the situation where you how many people around, where you at, is very, very important, because some places you want to go a little bit deeper. Some places you're not able to go deeper. For example, if you are in a very, very loud space, and there's a lot of people, probably you're not able to go into personal, deep conversation, because a lot of people are listening. It's just more of a service level. So you two levels deep, and that's it. You're not able to go a little bit deeper understanding of the person. Number three is that we need to pay attention to verbal cues, non-verbal cues. That means that when you have a communication and we ask a question, like surface level question, second question, first service level, because you need to build that trust. So surface level a lot of times allows to build that trust. So when you ask those surface levels and you ask like one like personal question, and you feel that based on a non-verbal communication, that maybe they hesitate, maybe they move in a way that they really feel uncomfortable. Of course, you don't want to ask very deeper personal questions because they already feel uncomfortable. So non-verbal cues are a powerful tool to understand where people are. So sometimes, because people feel very uncomfortable with new conversations and social gatherings, maybe spending a little more in the surface level to build them up, to make that stronger connection, until they're finally able to open up, is very important. So you stay a little bit longer in the surface level until they've started to feel that they are comfortable with you, with the station, and they're able to open up and really, and then you move to personal level. Now, number four is respect boundaries. This is very, very important. So that means when we really asking questions, some people have bigger boundaries, some people less. Some people are very, very open books, and some people just want to keep more things for themselves, and they will be very, very hesitant to share things. And if they just not willing to share, and this is their boundary, and they don't feel comfortable sharing, and say like, oh, did they just, everyone's supposed to share that? No, like if they don't feel comfortable, we need to respect that, and being able to say, okay, this is your boundary, this is what you feel comfortable sharing, this is not what you're willing to share, and it's okay that you're not digging and asking the same thing over and over again in different ways. Number five is consider the topic. Consider topics. Now, like, of course, when you think about service level and personal level, some topics doesn't make sense to go in a personal level. Some is just surface level. If you're speaking about sports, most likely, like some kind of teams, you will not be able to go in a personal level unless you start going to conversation based on their sports and why they do sports and what kind of impact sport does into their life and why maybe sport is important. It might be that they played baseball, basketball with their parents for a long, long time, and that sport means the mountains for them. So, of course, being able to understand what kind of specific topic you're speaking about and what kind of level you need to use is very, very important. Number six is gradual progression. And this is already mentioned. Sometimes when a person doesn't feel comfortable going to personal details, we need to spend a little bit more time in the surface level, really going into the things that really is very, very, very comfortable to share. And there's a lot of things that we able to comfortably share. And when you start to feel that, okay, like people will open up, they able to feel comfortable in the conversation, then gradually able to add more questions, it really could allow to see that we're here to understand, we're here we are here to hear them out, understand them, really add value as much as we can. And number seven is be responsive. So that means be flexible in conversation. Conversations are flexible things. So that means that when you have a conversation, sometimes you're able to move like from surface level to personal level then to intimate soon, then to build relationship, then go back to surface level. Right? If another person joins the conversation, you need to go back to surface. Because we need to understand that we need to bring that other conversation in the level that we've been. So if we've been in an intimate conversation, sensitive, personal, and now a new person comes in, again, we go to the surface level, we build that conversation up again until we're able to go to personal level again. And that means that we need to be very comfortable changing the levels on a almost immediate transition. And I think that the better we know how to communicate, how to have conversations and change between those conversation levels, the easier it is to network. Because at the end of the day, so many people network, but they never build strong network because they stay in a surface level. Because when you stay in a surface level, people will never remember you. But when you are able to move to personal level, to relationship building level, and maybe even to intimate level, people will remember, because it sometimes says it is not what you say, what people remember, how you made them feel. So when you're able to allow other person to share openly, they feel that you heard, understood, and a lot of times people never felt that. People never felt that for years, because listening and have that ability to have that conversation, deep conversation, that is a massive skill, and not a lot of people have that. And when you're able to listen, and you're able to ask the right questions, when you're able to go deeper, they will remember you as an amazing communicator, even though that might be that you never said anything. You just ask questions and you're able to really hear them out. So being able to hear people out makes you seem amazing communicator. That's very, very powerful, because I used to believe that if you want to be a great communicator, you need to really effectively share your thoughts. It's important. It's very important. But to be remembered as a great communicator, the most important part is asking insightful, deeper questions. And when you're able to do that, networking becomes so much, much, much more easier. And I know that the communication and conversation skills are as a muscle. So the more you do it, the more you go to networking events, the more you can have those conversations, and the more you try different questions to open the conversation, to understand and hear people out, the better you get. So I hope that I will inspire you to really go to like meetup.com, eventbrite.com, and then all the event websites to find events that you're able to go and really explore, and allow other people maybe first ask questions and answer and feel some comfortable, and then start you initiate conversation, that you could build that conversation levels and understand how to manage between those levels as well. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.